8th through the 10th, as President Trump pushes for an end to the war.
I want them to stop shooting, sit down, and sign a deal. We have the confines of a deal, I believe.
That's the president after the day after he met with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky in Rome, where they attended Pope Francis's funeral.
President Trump is really steamed at the Russians and at Vladimir Putin for continuing to order troops on the front line to attack targets inside Ukraine.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House.
Zelensky is now saying that these longstanding issues of what territory Russia would get to keep or what they don't get to keep can soon be agreed to, but there has to be a full and unconditional ceasefire first.
We'll get an update at the White House this hour from Borders Czar Tom Holman after a raid early Sunday at a Colorado Springs underground nightclub. More than 100 illegal immigrants taken into custody.
In addition to the illegal immigrants, the DEA says more than a dozen active duty U.S. service members were also detained, some of whom were said to be working security. The agency also says the club has been linked to gang members from Tren de Aragua and MS-13.
That's Fox's Doug Luzader. We mentioned Pope Francis's funeral. We got confirmation this morning from the Vatican that Cardinals will start the conclave to choose the next pope May 7th.
The 2013 conclave was protected by devices blocking phone calls, text messages and internet access. They also need to install a chimney on the chapel roof. When it pumps out white smoke, the cardinals will have voted in a new leader of the Roman Catholic Church.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Congress returns from a 2-week break. With Democrats facing an uphill battle without the votes to block the budget bill Republicans are working on to fund the president's agenda and extend the 2017 Trump tax cuts, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says,
we are witnessing in real time an attack on the economy, an attack on health care.
America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-213-5757. 800-213-5757.
Don't get suckered into the same old free phone game by Big Wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk, my sponsor, my wireless company, has a better offer. A brand new free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan for $35 a month. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 15 gigs of data, all on America's most dependable 5G network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan. Pure Talk, wireless by Americans for Americans.
Police in Florida think they have located the boat in a hit-and-run crash last night involving a ferry full of passengers. One of them was killed, at least 6 others injured. City of Clearwater spokesman Rob Shaw says
the boat came to rest on a sandbar, so some of those who weren't injured were able to walk ashore.
No word if there have been arrests yet, and that happened the day after a man drove an SUV into a crowd of people in Canada, killing 11 people, injuring about 24 more.
Prosecutors say 30-year-old Kaiji Adam Lowe is charged with 8 counts of second-degree murder, and more charges could be coming. Investigators say Lowe drove his SUV into a crowd of people who were attending a Filipino Heritage Day festival in Vancouver on Saturday, killing 11, ranging in age from 5 to 65. Hundreds of people came out for vigils on Sunday to remember the victims and show support for the 24 who were hurt. Police have ruled out terrorism as a motive, but say Lowe has a history of mental issues. Lowe made a video appearance before a judge on Sunday, but has not entered a plea. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
It is a big week for earnings reports on Wall Street, which could move the markets. But for now, stock futures aren't moving much, down slightly, coming off last week's big gains. The Nasdaq surged up more than 6%. We're saving a bit of money at the gas pump.
The average gasoline price is down a dime from 2 weeks ago. It's now $3.24.
Analyst Shirley Lundberg's survey of stations has regular 10 cents higher than AAA's national average, which is $3.14 per gallon. In the NBA playoffs, the Lakers are on the brink of first-round elimination.
Doncic looking. James, corner, Reeves, three-pointer. No good. Rebound McDaniels. It's over. The T-Wolves go up 3-1 in the series.
The call on ABC is Minnesota beat the LA Lakers 116-113. Boston topped Orlando 107-98. Indiana routed Milwaukee by 26. New York edged Detroit by 1. Celtics, Pacers, and Knicks also up 3-1. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Governor is appointing Theodore Berger to lead the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security. The appointment is pending state approval. If approved, it goes into effect May 15th. Berger has decades of experience in emergency management and homeland security. A Gibson City Melvin Sibley teacher and coach fired after being accused of misconduct. School board voted to terminate Robbie Dinkins last week after investigations launched into allegations of sending inappropriate messages to a student. Dinkins was a 13-year district employee. Douglas County health officials warning the public that a rabbit found dead in Tuscola died from a rare but serious disease that can affect both humans and animals. Several cases of illness and death in squirrels found in Urbana have been reported. One of the squirrels tested positive for this disease. Douglas County Health Department encouraging area residents to be aware of symptoms and to monitor their families and pets for signs of illness. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
And a good Monday morning to you. Last few days here of the fourth month of 2025. It is April 28th, because I had to look at it on the computer.
Yes.
And I know it's a Monday. Because there's a wire here in front of
my...
Starting
out a new week, Stevie.
Yep, and we get to May by Thursday of this week.
That's right.
Greg Solier, the marathon was perfect temperatures, I thought, for the runners. Mm-hmm. Nice and cool, early 60s.
That's right.
It was more crowded from the standpoint of chasing marathoners to find them. I mean, they had the outlying areas, but I mean, at a stop sign at, I guess it would have been Curtis Road in the country, there were 45 cars at the stop sign waiting to get through.
Wow.
Trying to get through to Race Street to see him at Meadowbrook run through the kids' play area and all that stuff. Anyway, so we were chasing Christian and Riley, my son and his wife, and she ran the half marathon like 8.5 minute pace.
Oh, wow.
She did quite
Fantastic.
well. And Christian got through the marathon in 4:14. His goal was 4:15. So
I presume you
that.
did not run in it.
No.
For clarity,
we've done one. We're marathoners. Once you get one, you've done it. But ours was 33 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
in Chicago, right?
In Chicago,
you get the pass. You're okay.
I said, yeah, we ran the marathons. They said, how'd you do? 1992. We won. That's what I remember. I don't know. I thought we won.
Well, our winner was Jamie Marcos, and for the men,
Jamie or Jaime?
Or maybe it is
I don't
Jaime,
know.
because it's
I don't know. He's Hispanic.
Jaime.
Yeah, maybe Jamie. He teaches at Dr. Howard.
Yes.
He lopped
2 hours, 22 minutes, and 23 seconds.
I think he lopped 15 minutes from last year's win. He won last year.
Wow.
That's 2 in a row.
I think it was 7 minutes. That he was faster for sure.
It was unbelievable improvement. 7 would be gigantic.
But, when I saw him go by when I was playing music and encouraging people on the mic there near Morgan Funeral Home in Savoy, which is mile 23, I mean, I was like, wow, I can't believe you've made it this far. And you're way ahead of everybody else. And, he was like cheering when I was saying all this stuff.
Well, he's obviously special. 2:22 and a teacher?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Man, amazing.
And then Tara Moody was 2 hours, 47 minutes, and 21 seconds as the female winner.
Yeah. No, they ran fast, man, but I thought the temperatures for them were great. We had
that's why I understand that, yeah.
Very, very good job, Soye, getting that thing. I think it rained a little. They delayed the 5K.
8 o'clock start for that.
Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And there were thousands of runners for that, but well done. We appreciate everybody that organized it, and we had the organizer on.
Yes, Jan Seeley.
Jan has done it just for a long, long time, but it was way more cars trying to find runners than I remember, and I've done this a few years now trying to find people. Gracie ran it last year. So anyway, it was fun. It was well done. It was a big crowd in Champaign-Urbana and spending their dollars, and pretty cool afterwards. Christie Clinic Illinois Marathon, they had massages for people that wanted to wait for them.
Absolutely.
And Christian took in that offer.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it was good. And guess what? People are sore today.
Yes, they are.
Nice you can do this, all, community residents and people of the area and business getting involved and keeping it local dollars, that type of thing. That's just well thought out top to bottom.
No, they worked really hard.
Absolutely.
Worked really hard. Diane was there in Savoy. And Savoy, I told Larry Fredrickson, had his buddy's barbershop quartet standing in his driveway.
Nice.
So there's just a lot of different twists, but I know Savoy went all out as well.
Yeah, enjoy Savoy. Thank you to Mayor John Brown and Trustee Larry Camper for helping organize so many things along their route between miles 20 and 24.
Here we go.
Picture, by the way, the runners, Mr. Camper.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He probably did.
Get a picture and put up on it. He still have the studio going, I believe, right?
Yeah, he does.
I think he had his Instamatic out.
There you go.
I mean, the lens on that thing is 6 inches long. I said, how are we going to get a selfie with that? You're hitting me in the face. You can't hardly hold that heavy camera
Get
up.
somebody's ear, and that's it.
Yeah. All right, we check Greg Solier's weather. I see some warm here, my friend. It's brought to you this morning by Carl.
Carl reminds you, advanced care planning is key if a medical crisis arises. You can learn more at carl.org.
All right, take us through the final few days of April into May, sir.
I'm sure field work as well in between late last week's rainfall. Some progress in some areas, and I suspect people are going to be going full tilt if they didn't get it going today. But it opens up a can of worms. Remember, I don't know, a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, we had an incident on an interstate. I think either it was 55 or 57 where visibilities were knocked down because of blowing dust and all that field work and et cetera. And there were some accident issues there. And we're going to keep an eye on that today as well, especially from a blowing dust standpoint, drying out the top couple of inches on 40-mile-an-hour winds this afternoon and this evening, so heads up on that accordingly. But it sends temperatures onwards and upwards from 56 now at in Savoy to 84 this afternoon. Humidity down, so watch the fire potential as well, with that south wind picking on up 15 to 25, gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour, 40 to 45 mile per hour winds out of the south, gusting tonight. Maybe a shower after midnight. Again, some reduced visibilities this evening with some blowing dust and a low down to 68. Tomorrow, going to clean the atmosphere out, get some mud balls on the cars, I suspect, with the showers and thunder both morning and late afternoon. The high near 80 and dropping as southwest winds shift to the northwest. That drives cooler air tomorrow night with a low down to 53. And a disturbance kind of rippling along this cool front will generate more shower activity and a much cooler Wednesday at 71. Showers and thunder in the morning and back in for the late afternoon. They're back in for the day on Thursday morning and late afternoon. 74 there. Inch or two of rainfall expected. Dry weather Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Upper 60s, low 70s. More warmth, more rain early next week as well. For CVA Broadcasting, I'm Greg Solier.
Yeah, I guess the NFL draft's still going. I think so.
Is it? I think it's wrapped.
Deep Browns? No, they don't.
Pat Bryant was in third round and 74th overall. Denver Bronco now.
What round? That's third round, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's good money.
Wide receiver at 6'2".
Yeah, Sean Payton taking him is good. The former Eastern Illinois quarterback, Saints Super Bowl winning coach, took Pat Bryant, so we're happy about that. Shedeur Sanders has all the headlines. He's Deion Sanders' son, played for Colorado, was a star at Jackson State. Then Deion moved his band to Colorado, and then he starred there. They thought he could be a first-rounder, slipped to the 5th round. All kinds of speculation as to why. Bad interviews, too cocky. But when he was picked, they had a happy dance, and he showed a lot of gratitude.
Okay, good.
But you're also dealing with Deion. And we have a head coach that could definitely be a head coach in the NFL say, I would only coach my son. As a head coach of a football team, would you draft that? Because the dad's waiting for you to fail. Oh, he's not using it right. I could do that.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he did get picked. It was the 5th round. He'll have a chance to be the starting quarterback at Cleveland. Because Cleveland, Stevie J would be a candidate to be starting quarterback at Cleveland because Cleveland is Cleveland. And they got 4 quarterbacks, including Joe Flacco, competing for that job. So I would think Shedeur Sanders. But just the Deion comments and everything else, Johnny, would be kind of a distraction. If you got a head man that's waiting to take your job as the NFL
head coach. It's not a distraction. It's called a threat.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's just that it would be something that would be, wow, that'd be great to have the two team up again. We sell a lot of tickets to get a lot of attention.
The shows in town. Anyway, we'll see, but Green Bay was very energetic.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable event. It really is to see that much excitement.
And for our own Pat Bryant and the Denver Broncos, it says a few minutes after the announcement, Coach Brett Bielema sitting on his left at the sectional sofa when the announcement came. And days leading up, we heard from Sean Payton and former Illini analyst Jim Leonard, now Broncos assistant coach.
That's right. So Sean Payton Hayden picks Pat Bryant, our receiver, number 13. He's a very good receiver.
Sean knows about Illinois. He's an Eastern Illinois graduate and played for the Bears as a replacement player during the strike.
Yeah, right.
I asked Mike, how was he? Terrible. But he thought he was a great coach.
Yeah, right. No, he did quite well. Still doing quite well.
There you go.
All right, we jump to morning sports headlines.
And we'll begin with Milwaukee beating St. Louis's Cardinals 7-1 yesterday. And here's a summary of the game.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
This is John Rooney, and yesterday at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Milwaukee Brewers took advantage of 2 first-inning walks, put 3 singles together, and had a 3-0 lead against Eric Fetty after 1 inning. And then a 2-run base hit by Christian Yelich capped off a 4-run 4th inning, and the Brewers salvaged a game in the 3-game series, beating the Cardinals 7-1. Jose Quintana, the former Cardinal, went 5 innings to improve his record to 4-0 with an ERA of 1.41. Eric Fetty, who gave up 7 earned runs, was able to give the Cardinals 5 2/3 innings, helping to set up the bullpen for a series that begins tonight in Cincinnati. Fetty suffered the loss, dropping to 1-3. His ERA went from 3.33 up to 4.68. The Cardinals play in Cincinnati the first of 4 tonight. Andre Palante will pitch. We're on the air at 4:45. Ricky has the lineups at 5:30.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Phillies came out on top yesterday 3-1 over the Cubs. Now they'll sit out today. Get ready for Pittsburgh tomorrow with the 5:40 start. And that action is heard over on US 105.9, 10 innings for the Phillies over the Cubs, 3-1. And Shoto Imanaga due on the mound for the Cubbies when you hear that action tomorrow. I think Pittsburgh is the series that I'm going to be checking out, in theory, when they have the St. Louis Cardinals affiliates coming in next week.
Okay, very good.
As we get into May, so I'm looking forward to that.
Everybody wants to see Paul Skeens pitch.
see.
He's the superstar guy for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Louisiana State University.
Yeah.
I see, an LSU Tiger.
Yeah, no,
Awesome.
he's a tremendous pitcher. He throws 100 on the black part of the corners. He's just really, really good. But yeah, no, the Reds are in second place this morning. Jacob is down in AAA right now with Louisville, but the Cincinnati Reds swept Colorado. Oh, you can't lose to Colorado. Colorado are the White Sox last year. Colorado's not very good, and you need to beat them every time.
Yeah.
So,
Cincinnati's who St. Louis taking on next with the 5:40 start.
Got that on here radio. You'll hear the Reds and the Cardinals in Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark. So that will be on our air later today. Cubs are off today.
That's right.
Okay.
Purdue came out on top yesterday, but Illini won the series in baseball.
Excellent.
2 out of 3.
Good. Check your weather, brought to you this morning by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you so many great spring programs to get involved with any age, and you can check out some of the free fitness programs this week with the FlexiPass program. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Did Donald Trump wear the wrong suit to the Pope's funeral? Next.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Wind and warm for the day today. A summer-like high with sunshine up to 84, but reduced visibilities in open rural areas as a result of blowing dust, with field work ramping up across the area. And the blowing dust and reduced visibility problem continues in through tonight with a low down to about 68 and a shower chance after midnight. That south wind 20 to 30, gust to 40 to 45 miles per hour today and tonight. That southwest wind will shift northwest tomorrow, turning cooler after a warm start. Partly sunny, scattered showers and thunderstorms morning and early afternoon, up near 80 and dropping. 53 tomorrow night with a north wind and a couple of showers around. Much cooler for the day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy, a few showers, a high near 71. Back into more widespread showers, thunderstorms, couple of batches morning and afternoon. Thursday, partly sunny and 74. Upper 60s and low 70s. Dry weather for Friday and into the weekend. Another warm up early next week. Temperatures up past 80 and scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. We'll keep you posted right here for Stephen J. Broadcasting. I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868, Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Food delivery company DoorDash could be expanding. London-based competitor Deliveroo says it received a takeover offer from DoorDash worth more than $3.5 billion. DoorDash says it's prepared to recommend the deal to shareholders if a formal offer is made. Airbus will purchase some plants that make parts for its jets from Spirit Aerosystems. The factories are in the U.S., Europe, and Africa. Airbus says sites in North Carolina and Kansas are part of the agreement. Spirit Aerosystems split off from Boeing around 20 years ago. Domino's Pizza topped Wall Street expectations for earnings and revenue. It held up better than expected in the recent quarter because of sales outside the U.S. Domestic sales declined slightly. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
It's the Will Kane Podcast.
I think this long-term play is an attempt to reorganize the global economy, to arrest the fall of the American empire. I don't know whether or not it will work or whether or not it will fail, but I do know that the path that we were on, even if in the short term the economy looked good, the path that we were on has been a path that is well trod by many empires before us, and we might want to try to reposition or arrest that fall and sustain the American empire.
Get the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Winter's finally over. Time to thaw out and enjoy the sunshine. But is your yard ready? Part of the trusted Two Men and a Truck family, Two Men and a Junk Truck can help you ditch the clutter and create the perfect outdoor oasis. From old patio furniture to forgotten fire pits, Two Men and a Junk Truck, a member of the Two Men and a Truck services, will haul it all away. Get ready for cookouts, parties, or just chilling with a good book. Make space for what matters most. Visit twomenandajuncktruck.com today. Use code Radio25 to save $25 on your next service.
All right, here we are Monday morning. The Pope was buried on Saturday. I don't know, hundreds of thousands probably in St. Peter's Square and around the Vatican in general, around the world watching. Mm-hmm. And the headline, Drudge Report, is you know they were the ones that broke the Monica Lewinsky story.
Oh boy!
And something happened where this guy is anti-Trump as you can get. Where every single story, all he is he compiles stories from around the world and he only puts negative ones about Donald Trump up there.
Okay.
So it shows Donald Trump blasted for wearing a blue suit.
Well, any suit he put on was going to be the wrong suit. So, but you got to realize too, Diane, Drudge, his business is getting Trump because he makes money. People want to hear, what do you do now? That's what happens, Steve. He found out, wow, my ratings are up. I just need to find something. Trump he got up today. Trump got up today, and he should have slept in today.
But they showed a picture of Trump on the, with 2 or 3 rows, everybody in black except him. Then you pan out, 35 to 40% were blue suits. But that's just perfect example of the media bias.
But it's comical. I mean,
it's just ridiculous.
But the funny thing is, they actually make money on it. It draws attention from a certain constituency.
Yeah, no, right.
That's what sells. That's all they're doing. And
clickbait is what they call it.
And believe me, you can hear them all you want about how we can't stand Trump. This is the best thing that ever happened. They're going to savor the next 4 years because there's nothing like Donald Trump on either side, and it just sells media.
I don't know. When you pan out, and he's in the front row, obviously, and he's the only one in blue in that row, but there is lots of black and a little gray, and in the back there's some more blue.
No, what I saw was a good 30-40%.
Okay.
If you pan out to like 50 rows.
Maybe the blues were supposed to sit in the back.
Well, he was in the front row of the back. He wasn't up close.
Okay.
I mean, he wasn't given primo.
I see.
So
well,
anyway.
like I said, if you think about it, how is that news? Because it's Trump.
It's Trump. Blue suit, black suit. Here we go.
How was the overall?
I think it was they kind of talked about the Pope being a very peace loving, but was pro immigrant. I'm pro immigrant for legal immigration.
Well, I'm pro-immigrant for good luck to them, but we do need to have some sort of
system.
Yeah.
All right, so here is Mike Waltz, the National Security Advisor. This was kind of an iconic-looking picture with right there in the Vatican, 2 chairs with Trump and Zelensky in the middle of a big marble thing, just those 2 looking very intensive. And here's Mike Waltz saying what happened with this extraordinarily, and because Diane said, you think they go to the funeral and get to the side room?
Why not?
You were right, except
Let's talk
it wasn't
about
the
peace.
side room. It was the middle of this massive marble, unbelievably iconic. It looks like it'd be the front page of a Time magazine cover. So they're talking, it is an intense conversation.
How iconic. That setting, that scene, that meeting is going to go down in the history books for President Trump to be a president of peace, to be talking peace and diplomacy in the Vatican of all places, just before we were able to walk out and the president sat with world leaders, people of all faiths, hundreds of thousands in the crowd. And the thing he was determined to do was to talk to Zelensky face to face and talk about how we're going to get the largest land war in Europe to an end. Both sides have to want that. He's expressed his frustration with both sides, but yet his determination.
Trump came out and started blasting Putin.
Well, Putin is really showing his true colors, but I assume he wasn't at the funeral. But
no, but here is that image I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The both of them just within a foot of each other in these red chairs with a gold base and gold armrests, and they talk about it being a very productive meeting.
Yeah, and then Macron, French president, came along and I don't think Trump wanted him in there. He just said, I need to talk to you one-on-one.
Yeah.
So no cameras, no microphones.
Somebody had a camera, Steve.
Well, back away.
I just saw the image.
No microphones.
Well, right.
You didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah, I don't. Putin's generally a fairly strategic thinker. I have no idea what he's doing or how far he's going to push this.
Yeah. Okay, and remember, Crimea came under Barack Obama. John Kerry, right? It was John Kerry as the Secretary of State when Barack Obama allowed Crimea to be taken from Ukraine, and Vladimir Putin did that as well. Okay, we will discuss more. I do have a clip about the Democratic state and what's going on and how they recover from all of it. We will get to that next. It's Monday, April 28th. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I'm Stevie J, Brother Johnny along. We'll be right back. Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Under Mark Carney's Liberal Party will maintain power, or if the Conservatives under Pierre Poilievre return to power for the first time in almost a decade. Carney rushed the election up from this fall, saying he needed a strong mandate in response to President Donald Trump's tariffs.
Fox's Jeff Manasso, a man in Vancouver, Canada, is charged with murder for a car ramming attack at a Filipino festival Saturday, killing 11 people. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Governor is appointing Theodore Berger to lead the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security. The appointment is pending state approval. If approved, it goes into effect May 15th. Berger has decades of experience in emergency management and Homeland Security. A Gibson City Melvin Sibley teacher and coach fired after being accused of misconduct. School board voted to terminate Robbie Dinkins last week after investigations launched into allegations of sending inappropriate messages to a student. Dinkins was a 13-year district employee. Douglas County health officials warning the public that a rabbit found dead in Tuscola died from a rare but serious disease that can affect both humans and animals. Several cases of illness and death in squirrels found in Urbana have been reported. One of the squirrels tested positive for this disease. Douglas County Health Department encouraging area residents to be aware of symptoms and to monitor their families and pets for signs of illness. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Check your weather on this Monday morning. It looks pretty good this week. Let's check it. Brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your computer isn't the only thing that needs a Windows update. Give your home the best in energy efficiency when you replace those drafty windows. Learn more at kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central and Champaign and vicinity going to be up and running in a summer-like spell of weather for the day-to-day, and try to get it done while you may, where you can, the best you can with outdoor work and field work. Back into a winter mode here going forward for the rest of the week and into next week too. Mostly sunny up to 84. That south wind increasing 15 to 25, gusts to 35 and 40 miles per hour. And with field work underway, heads up on reduced visibilities in some areas as a result of blowing dust that continues into the first part of tonight, with a shower thunderstorm chance after midnight. Low down to 68, south wind 20 to 30, gusts to 40 to 45 miles per hour. Windy, warm, and humid tomorrow. A couple of showers and thunderstorms morning and late afternoon, the high near 80, and dropping as southwest wind shift northwest. A couple of showers, much cooler, 53 for tomorrow night, and more shower activity breaking out for the day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy skies, much cooler at 71. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Thursday with a high up to 74. Dry weather for Friday and Saturday with upper 60s, up to 72 on Sunday, and scattered showers and thunderstorms early next week with another warm-up. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with Preservation Siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on KramerSiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Great weekend with a marathon. Thank you to everybody.
Did you see any of the marathon, Diane?
She was working
yeah,
it. She was in Savoy.
I worked it, baby.
All right. So
there were a couple thousand volunteers that I was thanking on the mic on mile 23 that were involved in the whole race weekend.
How'd they look in mile
11,000 participants in the 5 different races. And everybody was just so enthused and excited.
That looked like a good deal.
And the weather was terrific.
Yeah. Really great.
Christian made it all 26.2 miles.
Indeed. His goal was 4 hours 15. He did it in 4:14:31.
Whoa, that's amazing.
That's it. Our winner at 2:22:23
teaches at Dr. Howard. Pretty good.
Yeah.
2 years in a row. You like 2.5 hours last year, 2:22.
Whenever we have ours, it's a Kenyan usually wins.
Right.
But how did our winner look today?
And I don't know whether it's because we're more, kind of hometown, East Central Illinois, that you don't get a lot of those elite runners.
They go to the big boys.
They can't go to all of them.
Yeah,
right.
So,
for sure.
But they like traveling around. They can run those things.
Well,
2:22's pretty good.
Yeah. They're running them in now 2:08.
Okay.
The Kenyans, the Africans, I mean, those they're going to go where the purse is 100, 200,000.
That's right.
So, they're a bunch of friends that are running about the same pace. Johnny, how do you run 26.2 at a 5-minute pace? How do you do that?
You need a bike. You need a bicycle.
I don't know if I could do it on a bike.
5 minutes times 26 in a row.
Unreal. I always thought it'd be fun for Stevie J to run the marathon and sprint to the front so somebody could take my picture. I can't run that pace, 5-minute pace. I can't do that sprint anymore. Not even close. All right. So how are the Democrats doing? Well, I heard the I word over the weekend. They are fully planning impeachment procedures 3.0. So if they win the House, that's what we have for 2 years is impeachment of the evil Donald Trump. That's what they've got as a platform. That's what they're planning. Impeaching this president who is so bad. He's lawless. He's going against what the people want. It's unbelievable.
Well, I give them credit for holding to their strategy, and if they can convince people that you can't vote for Trump because he wore a blue suit to the Pope's wedding, then they're going to win. I don't think they can. I don't think what they're saying is playing like it might have in terms of influencing, and I think the results of what they're saying and the truth about what they do, no matter what they say, is starting to sink in. And I don't think that progressive unit that's strategy is no compromise, just deny, and keep telling the same story is gonna work.
Well,
I'm hoping it doesn't, but it's no gimme.
The Correspondents Association dinner was Saturday night. And most presidents attend because you got to kind of play along, laugh at yourself, make yourself look dumb. That's what George W. did, So they'll laugh at you. Trump has never gone to one.
Did he go to this one?
No. He was in with the Pope at the
Pope.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got a clip from that about an Axios reporter talking about the cover-up. Let's hear Megyn Kelly on the fact that now everybody's writing a book. The demise of Biden, the greatest scandal. And all these people on the left now are making money on the fact what they knew, we all knew, and been talking about for the whole time.
Well, it also works for them because they're basically saying, oh, Joe really put a number on these other people were doing that. We're great. We just made a mistake. Yeah. I don't know what they're trying to, the message is, but I don't think it's.
The Axios reporter said it's on us. I mean, he was very candid. I'll have that in a second. Let's hear what Megyn Kelly and Mark Halperin, who's a left-leaning reporter, but very good.
We don't know for sure whether it was the Joe Biden or whether it was some aide around Joe Biden, since the stories are leaking out left and right now about how mentally infirm he was and how hard the left worked to cover it up. There's like 4 or 5 books coming out now on this particular subject, and even lefties are asking lefty lawmakers about it. Elizabeth Warren sat down on a podcast called Talk Easy on Sunday, and it did not go well when this subject came up. Here she is.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
I said I had not seen decline. And I hadn't at that point.
You did not see any decline from 2024 Joe Biden to 2021 Joe Biden?
Keep asking.
Not when I said that. You know, the thing is, he was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
Right. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Look, the question is, what are we going to do now?
Okay.
Good for you, Sam Fragoso, for asking the questions. For listening audience, at one point she says, I said what I believed. And she kind of cocks her head to the side and raises her eyebrows like, got it? And he did exactly the same head cock and look back at her like, let's go, lady. I've got you. Mm-hmm. So what do you make of it?
This is the biggest sham in the history of the media, because you don't need to say to Elizabeth Warren, did you have in some private meeting, did you see this? Watch C-SPAN. He spoke to a dead congresswoman. Okay?
Yes.
And I mean, you don't,
Where's Marsha?
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke to be on the head of the pen and say, did you see it? The question is, why did you participate in a conspiracy of silence with the media and the bullies on the Biden team to deny what we could all see with our own eyes?
And then when anybody dared say anything, they called him and said, you're out of the loop if you keep this up. So they strong-armed the media. I do think there needs to be an investigation into what happened. We didn't have a president making decisions. How did it work? We got to prevent that. You shouldn't have a guy in there that can't make decisions.
I think we saw the evidence and voted for Trump. That's what got Trump in. One of the things. I don't really know what the fuss is. It was very clear he wasn't up to the job. And cover up, there was no covering up. There was simply denying what we were seeing, and it blew up in their face. I don't know why you would investigate. Oh, why did you cover up? Because he was president and we wanted to win another election. What do you think we're trying to do?
I think we should investigate, because somebody was signing papers and it wasn't him.
We knew that, though.
Yeah, but I just think
it's the pen, right?
The auto pen was interesting.
But
that was interesting.
The president of the United States is in charge and he was not. So how did it work? I need to know so we don't repeat it.
I thought you could probably go back, because we've discussed this for years. And back in 19, I think, we were saying, he's not going to run the country. 19, when he was Mr. Genius, he's not going to run the country. They're just putting him in. They just have a candidate, and the progressives are going to control the agenda. Well, that's what happened from day one. He got worse and worse, so it became the person they picked as the figurehead that would do basically the agenda, which he said he was going to do, by the way. Yeah. That was part of his right. So they really didn't do anything that Joe didn't want to go along with. It just got very embarrassing that, okay, he's thinking, and they kept telling us what we knew wasn't true. But how many times have they done that? Well, and if you keep voting for the progressive party, which is the Democrats right now, until the Democrats clean it up, then you're going to get more of the same. There's no telling who's going to be the next guy or what's going to be on the scene. So I'm amazed that, I can't believe you didn't tell us. We already knew.
No, we knew it, but boy, the bold-faced lies.
But wait, and that's a surprise.
It's not a surprise, but it's wrong.
The Russian collude. How about a guy playing on a girl team? How about all the things we've seen throughout the years from the media? How about Ferguson, Steve? They burned down the city. Yeah. And they just made it up. You could go on for 2 shows about the things that, they were lying. Well, that's a lot of what they do.
No, that's true. All right, here's the Axios reporter at the Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, John Decker went to that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have to talk to John about it.
Well, here's what the Axios guy said. I think it's all true.
On a serious note, to my bones, I believe that reporting and the White House Correspondents Association is as necessary as ever. President Biden's decline and its cover-up by the people around him is a reminder that every White House, regardless of party, is capable of deception. But being truth tellers also means telling the truth about ourselves. We, myself included, missed a lot of this story, and some people trust us less because of it. We bear some responsibility for faith in the media being at such lows.
Kind of a clap, kind of.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
kind of a bitter pill to swallow at a dinner.
I say this because acknowledging errors builds trust, and being defensive about them further erodes it. We should have done better. I believe our mission is vital in a world where people are struggling to figure out what's true, and people with power are not telling the truth.
Okay, so if the White House calls and says, stop asking those questions or you'll be shut out, do you go back to NBC and said, he's going to shut me out, or you get another reporter to cover it because you messed it up, you have bad relationships, you don't have any contacts, so you can't get the scoop?
Well, I think that the media is important. It's the fourth estate with journalism, and we need to know what's going on. And we knew this. Okay, good. I'm glad they're admitting it. I don't see that they've actually learned anything. For instance, to me, if you're going to be a journalist, you have to at least acknowledge that every single thing Donald Trump done isn't terrible, and they won't. How about trying to get peace in Israel and in the Ukraine? That's good. Just pound him for. How about trying to get criminals that are killing Americans out of the country? Get him. They can't do. They have due process when they don't even have due process. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
They just got caught red-handed, so now they're saying, maybe we shouldn't. I can't believe it. I should have known.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on.
It's so obvious.
Okay. Thelma Malone would have called you out in seventh grade on that.
Oh,
Steve.
I know
Says,
that.
Don't give me that crap.
Yeah.
I know that.
No question. By the way, Caroline Leavitt, who's the White House spokesperson, John Decker sent me a picture of standing behind Caroline, some up near the ceiling camera, looking at all the reporters. The room is packed. But the expressions on the faces and she prays before she goes out every day, because you're going out you're talking about attack dogs, and they all look so unhappy. They just, the expressions on the faces were, you want to go out there and talk to that every day? It would be very, very hard to do that job when there are a bunch of people sending knives at you. I mean, it was quite striking to see that perspective of coming out against the wolves. I mean, it really amazing.
And again, I'm kind of used to it if you go back to Trump's speech and the wolves with their little paddles.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter whether he honored a kid who had cancer and beat it, or gave a medal to this hero, or had the women whose husbands have been killed, like the woman at Butler, and they were terrible. And this is there's nothing that's changed from the people in charge of the Democratic Party, and they're scowling, and a lot of people just believe it. I don't know how you get to where you actually can't make yourself look at both sides and then come up with the conclusion.
So no matter where you are in politics, why not be civil? Why not be kind?
How about
be a human?
Why not be pleased at to try to stop the war in Ukraine and Russia? Why not be what can we do to help the Israel-Gaza situation? But no, I know they're hoping all of that fails so they can win.
I think that maybe, that was pretty sweet. The Secret Service for the young man who had cancer. No. Nothing's good.
No.
Nothing's good. And so it's their problem.
No, it is.
But you have to figure that out because they will take back over. And this time, it's just going to get more and more ruthless because they realize we didn't squelch enough. We didn't have enough censorship.
Yeah, right.
And this is not the Democratic Party that we know.
One more. Bill Maher sitting with Charlie Rose. I didn't know Charlie Rose is still alive.
Right.
Sorry. But here's Bill Maher. This is the old thing. Well, in religions you have, and then Charlie Rose says, "Oh, it's all religions," and then Bill Maher, who's a lefty, but man, he's making sense. Is that scary for me?
Charlie Rose, 83.
Yeah. Okay, so he's sitting with Bill Maher. Listen to this.
There are illiberal beliefs that are held by vast numbers of Muslim people that I don't think...
Vast number of Christians, too.
No, that's not true. Not true. Vast numbers of Christians do not believe that if you leave the Christian religion, you should be killed for it. Vast numbers of Christians do not treat women as second-class citizens. Vast numbers of Christians
I agree with that.
Do not believe that if you draw a picture of Jesus Christ, you should get killed for it. So yes, does ISIS do Khmer Rouge-like activities where they just kill people indiscriminately who aren't just like them? Yes, and would most Muslim people in the world do that or condone that? No. But most Muslim people in the world do condone violence just for what you think. They do. First of all, they say it. They shout it from the...
Vast majorities of Muslims
Absolutely.
say that?
There's a Pew poll of Egypt done a few years ago. 82%, I think it was, said stoning is the appropriate punishment for adultery. Over 80% thought death was the appropriate punishment for leaving the Muslim religion. I'm sure you know these things.
I know. Well, I do.
But to claim that this religion is like other religions is just naive and plain wrong. It is not like other religions. The New York Times pointed out in an op-ed a couple of weeks ago that in Saudi Arabia, just since August 4th, I think it was, they have beheaded 19 people. Most for non-violent crimes, including homosexuality.
Those that got the hands off the thief.
Right. Okay. So we're upset that ISIS is beheading people, which we should be upset about. But Saudi Arabia does it, and they're our good friends because they have oil.
Right.
Okay? But they do it too. This is the center of the religion. I'm not saying...
They're now fighting against ISIS, too. They're joining us in the fight, as is the Emirates.
Well, they are both fighting ISIS, and they are for ISIS.
Well, not the government. I mean, some of the
certainly the government. In Mecca, where infidels, non-Muslims, are not even allowed in the holy parts of the city. I mean, right there, we don't have that example in other religions. Okay, they do behead people. Now, if they were beheading people in Vatican City, which is the equivalent of Mecca, don't you think there'd be a bigger outcry about it? So this is the soft bigotry of low expectations.
What did he say that was wrong there?
No, well, Bill Maher kind of hits on what I was saying, which is people who were, convinced that we're on the right track they've looked at the results, and he went to see Trump. He said, what I've seen is not what we thought we were seeing. Yeah. I think I've got to change the way I'm looking at things. This isn't what we thought was so bad, isn't quite that bad, and to be silent about things that really are bad isn't the way to go, or else more bad things will happen. He's kind of coming around, is what I hear Bill Maher.
Yeah, no, a little bit. I don't think he's going to be a Republican, but
we're not talking about being a Republican. To me, you have two choices, and you may have to pick the Republican. You may say the Democrat's better. You may not like either choice, but I don't think you should hardline ignore everything except I've always voted this way and that's what I got to do. Yeah. And both sides do that, but that's not the right way to do it. You have the freedom to make a choice based on what you're seeing, and you need to take it or you're going to lose it.
It's ESPN 93.5. You can always text us 217-359-2255. That's the Fisher National Bank text line.
And actually, Marion Camargo did, saying the documents Biden signed, could they be deemed invalid if the investigation shows incompetence?
You could argue that. I mean, you could say he said to sign. I can't sign all those things. I got a million things to sign. But if it was okay, he didn't even know it. Yeah, they're invalid.
What about the auto pen these days?
Well, what if you had a whistleblower that said, I was there and I told him you can't do that, and they did? Is that evidence?
It could be. I don't know. One is whistleblower's the hero. The other one's, it's like, I don't think that's going anywhere because they were in the White House with that president, and that was their plan, and it worked. So the question is, are we going to let them do it again? Because it's the same people, Steve. No, the same whoever it was, you can say who was running the Democratic Party still. And so I think they've lost a little influence.
I wonder if it's Joe Biden.
Jill?
Jill.
Or the Obamas.
Don't know. Look,
the Obama connection.
I say same. It isn't some guy or gal. It's a group
of people.
Right.
But who
And-
makes the final call?
That's a good question.
And how do we expose that to find the
I
answers
think
of
just
what
that
happened?
right there is their problem today.
Yeah.
Which is, well, who's going to make the Gavin? Maybe Gavin can come around because he could do it, but he's got so much baggage and they're in such disarray. They just can't get.
I don't think they've made any progress on rebuilding from the fire. Trump was out there and told Karen Bass, "You need to let him in tonight. Oh, we'll go within a week." Well, what happened to that?
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, that thing's it just less government is better for me. All right, going to check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solia this morning, brought to you by Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Busey for over 155 years. Busey, member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Wind and warm for the day today. A summer-like high with sunshine up to 84, but reduced visibility in open rural areas as a result of blowing dust with fieldwork ramping up across the area. And the blowing dust and reduced visibility problem continues in through tonight with a low down to about 68 and a shower chance after midnight. That south wind 20 to 30, gust to 40 to 45 miles per hour today and tonight. That southwest wind will shift northwest tomorrow, turning cooler after a warm start. Partly sunny, scattered showers, thunderstorms morning and early afternoon, up near 80 and dropping. 53 tomorrow night with a north wind and a couple of showers around. Much cooler for the day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy, a few showers, a high near 71. Back into more widespread showers, thunderstorms, couple of batches morning and afternoon. Thursday, partly sunny and 74. Upper 60s and low 70s. Dry weather for Friday and into the weekend. Another warm up early next week. Temperatures up past 80 and scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. We'll keep you posted right here for Stephen J. Broadcasting. I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Why use Lands Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry. From a basic sewer pipe repair to replacing a sewer main, installing a water line to installing a septic system, installing underground utilities for a new construction project to rehabilitating the old pipes under a school. Lands has the most versatile and experienced team in the industry. Residential, commercial, and industrial, when it comes to your underground pipes, think Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
When looking for a bank, you deserve the best. Philo Exchange Bank is a best of Bauer bank rated 5 stars in financial strength and stability for over 28 consecutive years. Banking with us means you're banking with one of the strongest banks in the nation. Visit any one of our locations in Philo, St. Joseph, Allerton, or Broadlands to experience the best firsthand.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The University of Illinois Police Training Institute has been training police and correctional officers from across Illinois since 1955. 2025 marks the 70th year anniversary, making PTI one of the longest-running academies in the country. On June 28th at Willow Pond Golf Course in Rantoul, become a sponsor or register for the golf outing, with proceeds raised funding the first phase of the relocation plan. Learn more about the Willow Pond Golf Outing June 28th as you visit pti.illinois.edu.
Yeah, Megyn Kelly does have an interesting story. She was pounded by Donald Trump at a debate in whatever that was, 2016.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that went on for a year. She said it was horribly uncomfortable. But she said, I was able over time to separate my personal feelings from his policies, from his action as president. And she said, I evolved to where I thought he was doing the right things as president. And she said, over time, it's a weird thing to say, she said, but I kind of fell in love with Donald Trump and the way he was being the president. So because she was at the final rally here this last November, pushing people to vote for him. And it wasn't, she left Fox on her own to sign a $23 million deal with NBC. That didn't work out. It was Tucker Carlson who got fired because of the whole voting machines thing, and Fox paid $700 million. But Megyn Kelly left on her own because she made a chunk of money from NBC that never worked out. So then she's gone on Sirius Satellite Radio and she's doing a podcast. And I think she's really, really smart and very talented.
Thanks for sharing about separating politics from her personal perspective.
Well, not many can do that.
Yeah.
If you don't like somebody, it's derangement. And there was a woman, I have this clip, on a plane. I think it was set up, but you never know these days. But she's screaming because the guy next to her has a red MAGA hat on. and then he touches her shoulder. And then she said, "I'm sorry." And then she screams, "Assault! Assault! I've been assaulted! Give me somebody!" So anyway, the stewardess comes up and said, "Ma'am, I talked to the captain. You're right. We're gonna fix this situation." So she starts getting up. She says, "I have a spot in first class." And she goes, "Oh, finally!" And he says, "Sir, will you follow me?" And gave the MAGA guy the first class seat. And so "You can't do this. You're going to be grounded. You don't know who I am." It's all of that. It just, I have a real hard time thinking that's real.
Right.
Well, maybe, but the MAGA guy got the first class seat in that little clip.
Well, just imagine her, running the country, and that's what I'm saying. Because people, for instance, the due process for non-Americans, they don't have that right.
We got the news. This is WSJK, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll be right back.
This is the 99th day of President Trump's second term. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Today, we kick off 100-day week with a focus on the president's historic effort to secure our southern border.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt at a rare morning briefing touting increased border security and a big drop in illegal immigration.
Later this afternoon, President Trump will sign an executive order on law and order and another executive order on sanctuary cities.
An earlier Trump order cracking down on Democrat-led sanctuary cities not cooperating with an immigration crackdown and deportations was partly blocked by a federal judge. A raid early yesterday netted more than 100 illegal immigrants at an underground nightclub in Colorado Springs. Attorney General Pam Bondi tells Fox in that club,
you would go in, security would give you a menu of drugs. Cocaine, there's something new called pink cocaine, meth, you could go in a bathroom stall, get that, there was prostitution. All these things going on.
Also detained in that raid, at least a dozen active U.S. military members. Some were working security. Russia is planning a 3-day pause in the war in Ukraine, May 8th through 10th, to mark the end of World War II. President Trump says he's very disappointed Russia has continued to attack Ukraine's capital city. After his meeting Saturday with Ukraine's President Zelensky, he keeps pushing a peace deal.
I think the meeting went well. We'll see what happens over the next few days. We'll probably learn a lot.
Now, that meeting with Zelensky was after they attended Pope Francis's funeral in Rome Saturday. Now, this morning we found out the conclave of cardinals that will choose the next pope in secrecy will start May 7th. Police in Florida think they've located the boat. They crashed into a ferry full of passengers last night, then sped away. One person was killed, 12 others hospitalized.
The firefighters had to go into the water and help some people. There were also good Samaritans who were picking up people and taking them in their boats.
City of Clearwater spokesman Rob Shaw, no word on arrests. In Canada, the man accused of driving an SUV into a crowd of people at a Vancouver Filipino festival Saturday night has been charged with murder. 11 people were killed. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-213-5757. 800-213-5757.
Don't get suckered into the same old free phone game by Big Wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk, my sponsor, my wireless company, has a better offer. A brand new free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan for $35 a month. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 15 gigs of data, all on America's most dependable 5G network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan. Pure Talk, wireless by Americans for Americans.
Congress returns today from a 2-week break with Republicans still working on what President Trump calls one big, beautiful budget bill to fund his agenda and extend the tax cuts from his first term. Now, Democrats do not have the votes to block that bill, but are very publicly opposing it.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Democratic Senator Cory Booker launched a live-streamed sit-in on the U.S. Capitol steps Sunday to attack the GOP-backed budget plan. Senator Booker said a goal has been set.
That they are going to try to get this done this work period.
Leader Jeffries said it's up to Democrats to keep what Americans have earned from being targeted. As Republicans tell committees,
you've got to cut $880 billion. That means Medicaid. Yeah. That's the only way to do it.
Both chambers passed resolutions to provide a budget framework before the recess. Republicans hope to have a plan on the president's desk by Memorial Day. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures aren't moving much, up slightly before the opening bell after the big rebound gains last week. 2 days after the NFL draft wrapped up, the NFL's champs will go to the White House.
It's been a busy month at the White House for recent sports champions.
The Los Angeles Dodgers. The Ohio State University Buckeyes.
2 weeks since President Trump hosted college football's national champion Ohio State team, and 3 Mondays since the Los Angeles Dodgers were celebrated for their World Series win last year. President Trump will welcome the Super Bowl 59 champion Philadelphia Eagles Monday. The team declined an invitation 7 years ago. Will Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts join his teammates Monday?
Are you planning on visiting the White House?
Got it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts speechless with Time Magazine. Jared Max, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, Boston, Indiana, Minnesota, New York, they all wanted to take 3 games to 1 series leads. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois offering a new option for in-state students struggling to get traditional college loans. Illinois' treasurer unveiled a new program that provides private college loans for Illinois residents at lower rates than private competitors. Illinois No Co-Signer Loan is open to Illinois residents attending an Illinois public or non-for-profit university. With the threat of federal dollars going away, several Illinois universities suspended diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, but the University of Illinois remains defiant. The Trump administration's been pushing universities to drop DEI programs, arguing that they violate civil rights laws by limiting eligibility based on race. About 200 people used test dummies to practice chest compressions at Memorial Stadium Friday during the Christie Clinic race weekend. For the proper hands-only CPR technique, you clench your hands together, press down until you hear a click, which signals you've gone down far enough to actually get blood pumping. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Weather in a moment here brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. You want to save money, maybe get an evaluation from Watts Copy Systems. Call them 217-352-0428. They might have a lot of solutions. They'll save you on copiers and print color stuff and all that. Well, Greg, John was talking to the great Jim Evans yesterday at church, and he said that Jim is an agribusiness guy. In the ag area of the University of Illinois for so many years. Wonderful man, Jim and Marlene. Anyway, he said it's one of the windiest periods in 50 years, John.
Yeah, a lot of wind. He said it reminds me of Corpus Christi up here, Greg.
Oh,
so
okay.
What's that show on your history?
From a subjective and just having watched this stuff, over, for many a decade, and especially this springtime season, I without putting a quantitative number on it, like Mr. Evans would be able to do. Yeah, it's been one of the windier ones that I can remember on record around here. But we've had such a range of temperatures around here, and it's kind of a trademark that when we wind out of these La Nina or El Nino setups or during the fall or spring, we tend to get systems that are pretty well wound up, if you will, across the middle part of the nation and the mid-latitude. So, yeah, I would certainly concur with that from at least a subjective watching the weather every day standpoint. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it seems like winds at 30 to 40 aren't that uncommon anymore. I mean, we've actually been at a golf tournament. Nathaniel played at a golf tournament years ago. It was 52 miles an hour wind, where the ball on the green would shudder, and you back away from it. You don't know what to do. You don't know if you can play because the ball will move on its own.
Wow.
But it was crazy. And out at Savoy, it was the orange and blue. It just can get real windy as well. But around here lately, it's been breezy to say the least, but it's not 8 to 10. It's like 15 to 35.
If you take a corner on a bike ride, just a standard bike, and you hit it perpendicular to that wind, at times it's kind of almost knocked me down.
Greg's a Lance Armstrong with no drugs.
No,
all right,
that's how good he is. Not bad for my age group, but not Mr. Armstrong.
Right. Well, if he hadn't taken all the stuff, you'd have passed him for sure.
Yeah, maybe so.
For sure. Okay, let's check this weather forecast. And I remember, when was the 100-mile straight line winds? That was a year ago, I think.
Yeah, that derecho that came racing.
Derecho.
Right. Yeah.
It was, we were at UAV, CrossFit, and it was, I mean, the trees were like U's, upside down horseshoes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, it was crazy. I said, what is this?
I think that was named after Leo Duration.
the outspoken manager of the Cubs back in the 70s.
That's right. Leo Duration. That's right. That's exactly right.
Hey, not bad for a Monday. He tried.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
good.
right.
Our weather now, meteorologist Greg Solier at 8:09.
And one of these windy days, but another impressive circulation and wide range of temperatures across the country as we bring in some summer-like warmth today, bring it back to more seasonal levels here briefly by the end part of the week. And so another healthy system as we wind out of this La Nina. We're kind of into a neutral state. Think there's an El Nino coming down the line. And so at that point, and we're beginning to see it here as we roll into the month of May to the north and west, the big warm ridge, the hot ridge that producers keep an eye out for. When it really materializes up in the upper Midwest, the northern and central Rockies, northern and central plains via the Southwest, that sometimes does two things. That's a drier setup, and the D word comes into play, and then you kind of run systems over the top of the hot ridge, and you get what we call those derechos to come on through. So it may be one of those later spring and summer setups we've got to keep an eye out for down the line. But in the short term, a lot of rain coming our way. 61 now at Willard and Savoy. Later today, 84. But again, the wind picking up out of the south, 20 to 30, gust to 40. We're drying out the topsoil. Farmers are going to be out there. They're working right now. And keep an eye on visibility as they may be down a bit in that blowing dust this afternoon and evening time. With a couple of showers and thunderstorms after midnight tonight and a couple of spots, dawn temperatures will settle back pretty mild. We'll bottom out at about 68. Tomorrow, windy, warm, partly sunny, scattered showers, thunderstorms both morning and late afternoon. Maybe a couple stronger storms in parts of the area. A high near 80. A few more showers back in Wednesday, cooler at 71. More rain with a couple of rounds of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Thursday, partly sunny between 74. We finally dry out Friday and into the weekend with upper 60s and low 70s. Another warm up, more rain ahead for early next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Tom Homan is speaking now. Do you know at the White House, they have yard signs of all the people they have arrested and the crime they committed.
Oh.
Pictures and rape, homicide, murder, it's all listed.
Oh, wow.
In the White House, row and row.
Really? That's interesting.
John Decker sent that to me this morning. I think, is it day 100 of I think it's close.
Oh, really?
Well, it's past the 100.
Is it? We're past the 100. Okay. Tom
Well,
Homan speaking.
you know
How old
what?
is Tom Homan?
Okay.
What would you guess of
Looking
Tom
that up.
Homan?
He looks 65.
I thought he was older, but he's only 63.
Yeah.
63?
He's aged, but he's a tough job. Anyway, yeah, so they're posting the people they've arrested. Now, why would you want all of these just people that have done these incredibly bad things on the street?
Well, they're just people who think we should have an open border. And as far as consequences or what happens, it doesn't matter. They should have the right to come in. Just like right to due process. We have to have free due process and democracy. This is what's unique about America, and it's why we've been one of the leaders in the world for over a century. And it's because of our Constitution that you're entitled to live under if you pledge allegiance to America and become an American citizen. It doesn't go to everybody. What do you think they have the American constitutional right in Saudi Arabia? It doesn't matter if you're standing on our land. You can't claim, unless you agree, I want to be an American and support this, you don't get due process, which is very important. And we had people on the mall on January 6th who didn't go in the Capitol. You can say they had no right to protest that when you can burn down Milwaukee and Seattle. I would disagree with that as well. But they didn't get due process. They're American citizens.
Sitting and there were no crime, no charge.
No problem with that. But,
years.
But someone who's not a citizen,
right?
You have to give them due process. You don't.
Well, here's the thing: is
that
you can come to America. You can do everything.
Absolutely.
I know it's frustrating. It takes 5 years. It's just a long process. But everybody's welcome to apply.
Right. And how many people who are trying to do things correctly are getting
It's very
the shaft
difficult,
right
and
now.
it takes an even longer time when all the people who are in here come through and kind of swamp the system. They swamp the
Well,
courts.
they arrested 100 illegals at a Colorado nightclub. Now, they're all dressed pretty well. Where are they getting all their money? Is it mine? Am I giving them all money and cell phones and credit cards? Stunning.
And go back to journalism and the media, and they're sorry to cover up Joe Biden. You'll hear that that's not true. There's none of that going on. The border, remember they said the border was closed.
Is secure,
and we're going to keep it that way. Now, and so you're talking about covering up Joe Biden. What about that?
No, I know.
And then we're watching the pictures and all these. Oh, that's fake news. So I can't And then I'm spewing garbage because I saw
right.
them coming in. It's like, wow, okay.
No, you saw the droves at the border, and they said it's secure. What? That's why all of this shock that he was so. We've been talking about every single day for 4 or 5 years about all of that, and so.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with the young lady who was the spokesperson,
Caroline Levitt.
No, the other.
Corinne Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, and when Joe went the wrong way off the stage, and she. No, she did. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
And everybody's watching the clip.
Oh, my gosh.
And there wasn't anything wrong with her. And nobody said anything about that in the media.
You're
they
right.
just said, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let us check your sports headlines, Diane Ducey.
I guess we won't sum up the Cardinal game since Milwaukee came out on top 7-1.
Cardinals got 2 out of 3 of it.
Okay.
So
well, there you go.
now they go to Great American Ballpark tonight, and a hot Cincinnati team that's won 4 in a row.
Nick Martinez on the mound for the Reds. Are you familiar with his work?
Very
since
good.
Your son-in-law played on the team the first half.
$21 million is what he signed for.
Okay.
Pretty good. So throw strikes, kid.
5:40 start for the Reds and Andre Palante for the Cardinals today. You'll hear the action here on ESPN 93.5. Phillies over the Cubs 3-1, and the Cubs will face Pittsburgh tomorrow with a 5:40 start using Shoto on the mound. It took 10 innings for Phillies to come out on top, but series starting up against Pittsburgh will be heard over on US 105.9.
I tell you what, Phillies almost lost that game twice because they couldn't bunt. I sound like a really, really old man when I say if there's a guy on second and it's extra innings, should you at least think about bunting?
Yeah.
Bunting to third, get him there with 1 out.
Yeah.
But they can't. They don't do it because I don't think they can. I don't think anybody can bunt anymore. It's either home run or strike out. It's
Jacob Hurtubise can bunt.
There's some that do, and I think you do need to take advantage of that. But it can turn into a disaster if you don't have a good bunter.
Right.
And the Phillies did not, and it almost burned them, but it didn't because they got enough runs to win.
Man, I used to hate that signal when I was up in the batter's box from Larry Thronberg, man. I knew he was tugging on that ear, and I just wanted to shake him off.
I kind of liked it because I could actually almost do that sometimes.
Is that right?
Johnny could
square up and
he got
take
the bunt down, then he could run fast to first base. It'd be a problem. In fact, you broke up a no-hitter because you had a swinging bunt once.
Yeah, I was actually just trying to dodge a curveball that actually was a strike, but it hit the very base of the bat by my hand and went about 4 feet. And I mean, it was boom, I was safe. That's the only hit.
Okay.
Yeah, broke up the no-hitter. Hey, this kid from San Francisco, actually it was the same guy that hit that ball that Jacob caught to save that game in San Francisco. Ramon, I think was his name. He hit a swinging bunt kind of a thing, and he ran to first base, and they threw it to right field. Then he rounded second and went to third, and they threw it in the dugout. It was a Little League home run to win the game.
Oh, wow.
A Little League home run.
Swinging bunt.
A swinging bunt.
Jose, what was Jose's name in Chicago? He used to
Jose
do that.
Cardinal?
Yes, he had the swinging
that's
bunt.
right.
Swinging bunt.
Okay. A swinging bunt. That's interesting. I remember when I got hit by a pitch, I caught the ball, and I was trying to bunt. I caught the ball at my hip. My friend who went to school with me at St. Thomas and Philo, I'm a Tolono gal, so when we played Tolono and Philo, it was always fun. And I just throw the ball left-handed back to her, and I put the bat back up on my shoulder, and they're
You hit my pitch.
Yeah, Diane, you got to run to first. What are you doing?
All right. Your dedication to education paid off. We had a lot of graduations coming up, and a lot of people are going on to college. Some aren't. Some are finishing college and hope to get a job or already have a job. Well, now what do you do with the money? If you're making some money you've never made before, how do you spend it? How do you save it? How do you build an emergency fund? Well, Busey Wealth Management, happy to consult, happy to be there with you to help you get through this. You can create a budget. That's kind of important to see if you can don't spend more than you make. You can go to Busey.com if you're really into it. And you're really hungry, you can find a lot on their financial calculators area. How much a car can I afford? How long will it take to pay it off? If it's a credit card and you have 25%, all kinds of things at Busey.com. Their experts can help you do some outcome-based investing, retirement and estate planning. If you do it now and you're just graduating, you're going to love it when you're 65. Retirement and estate planning, tax planning, risk management. Graduation, great time to start on the right foot. Financially, let Busey put you on the path to success with customized solutions to your financial needs. Visit Busey.com. Stop by one of the many convenient locations today. Member FDIC. Investment products and services not FDIC insured are not deposits. No bank guarantee. May lose value. For over 155 years, it's Busey. All right. Same name. Unbelievable. Started in 1868. Here we go with your weather. Check it again with meteorologist Greg Solier. We're hitting the big 8082 in that range with windy. Here's Greg.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Wind and warm for the day today. A summer-like high with sunshine up to 84, but reduced visibility in open rural areas as a result of blowing dust, with fieldwork ramping up across the area. And to blowing dust, a reduced visibility problem continues in through tonight with a low down to about 68 and a shower chance after midnight. That south wind 20 to 30, gust to 40 to 45 miles per hour today and tonight. That southwest wind will shift northwest tomorrow, turning cooler after a warm start. Partly sunny, scattered showers, thunderstorms morning and early afternoon, up near 80 and dropping. 53 tomorrow night with a north wind and a couple of showers around. Much cooler for the day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy, a few showers, a high near 71. Back into more widespread showers, thunderstorms, couple of batches morning and afternoon. Thursday, partly sunny and 74. Upper 60s and low 70s. Dry weather for Friday and into the weekend. Another warm up early next week. Temperatures up past 80 and scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. We'll keep you posted right here for Stephen J. Broadcasting. I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's merger news this morning. Marriott International is buying hotel company Citizen M for $335 million. Citizen M owns 36 boutique hotels in 20 cities, catering to value-conscious travelers. Airbus is buying some factories from Spirit Aerosystems, including sites in North Carolina and Kansas. The factories are in the U.S., Europe, and Africa and make parts for planes. Spirit Aerosystems split from Boeing around 20 years ago. Food delivery company DoorDash is offering to take over London-based Deliveroo for more than $3.5 billion. Morgan Stanley analysts say DoorDash is a natural buyer because there are no real geographic overlaps between the two companies. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
I'm Charles Payne. Listen to my Unstoppable Prosperity podcast so I can get you making money right now. 35 years on Wall Street taught me how to successfully invest in the stock market. In my 4-part series, I'm going to teach you too. Some of Fox Business's finest join me to help tell my story, impart crucial lessons from my Unstoppable Prosperity book, and to give you the tools to achieve your own financial dreams.
Listen anytime, everywhere at foxbusinesspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
We're talking to John.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
We're talking to John Reichert and Neil Asklin. I guess the first question for me, John, is what is it like being part of A&R, knowing how this all started? It was your grandfather, then your dad, and now you, and 100 years in business is hard. How do you explain that?
Well, it's incredible, honestly. When I was a boy, obviously my father was running the company. It's always been, part of my life, but I knew that we had good people, at that time that worked for the company. I think with God's help and protection that we survived and frankly thrived.
I think the thrive is the key word here. Neil Asklin, I guess let me ask you about your dad, Ken Asklin, who partnered with Dave and they got it going in the 50s and kept it going. And you being part of the company.
I've been around since I was a young teenager, so something that I've grown to love, and the camaraderie and getting things done. And these huge projects that we're doing now just amazes me.
A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. We're flooring people.
All right, Tim Onstad, tell me how you're doing at Dedicated Diesel and the Dixie Chopper. You have any late model deals here I can make?
Yeah, there are fall deals on everything. We've got 3 or 4 used machines in there that Andy's looking to get rid of. We still have some new models, very few, limited of those, but those are going to be at the lowest prices that you can get. If you give us a price and it's close to what our dealer invoice is, he'll go for it.
Okay.
We'll do that and get rid of it.
Good time to buy then.
It's a great time to buy. Best prices you can get, and if you need service, now's the time to bring them in to get them serviced and get ahead of the rush and get ready for spring.
Gail Frericks Trucking, can people apply just to give you a resume?
We actually are starting a waiting list now for drivers for our regional van over the road. We've got a good group right now, and we're blessed with it.
What's the location?
1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. You can get Andy at 217-328-0562. They can reach me at the office at 765-793-7131.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Yeah, Jan Seeley did a great job with the marathon. We had all kinds of people visiting our community as of Thursday.
Mm-hmm. So, really, there was over 11,000 participants and 2,000 volunteers, first responders, security. Everybody made it happen for race weekend in Champaign-Urbana, and it was terrific weather on Saturday. A little on the windy side. We were talking about the wind with Greg Soye, and some of the marathoners are sharing stories about coming around on First Street in that last stretch to Memorial Stadium and facing that headwind.
Well, and last year it was a southerly wind. I'm sorry, a north. It was Gracie was into the wind, and then home was with the wind.
Okay.
So it was out of the south last year. This year out of the north.
That's right.
So going through Savoy was okay, but coming back to the stadium was all in the wind. But to a person, what was it like to run into the stadium? It was cool.
And
it was cool.
The weather at 50 degrees, I don't know what else you want. That was perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and Tara Moody sharing in an article about,
she was a female winner?
Yes. Native of Bargersville, Indiana, about 20 miles south of Indianapolis. And really, this Carmel Marathon that she was planning to run was canceled. And she decided to register last minute for the race here in Champaign. She's 44.
Right.
She's ran 14 marathons in her life. Never won before. Had got here in time to actually drive the course, so she knew kind of what was going on. Family was with her. She said that was key. I was motivated, saying I want to see my kids as soon as I cross that finish line. And, just really cool to have a 3 and 1 year old and being running like this at the age of 44
winner is that's a great
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there was
it was 2 hours, 47 minutes, and 21 seconds.
And the winner of the guys at 2:22, Dr. Howard Teacher.
Yes. Jaime Marcos.
Jaime.
Yeah.
Marcos. Okay, 2 years in a row, by the way. He has won 2 straight years. Christian was at the end of the race and was talking to somebody, overheard the conversation. And the woman was probably, 45 to 55. She said, "This is my 46th race."
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
I think I saw 2
46?
that are avid runners in our area that usually win in the 70 and up category.
70 and up category.
It's crazy.
That's my category.
I know.
I mean,
crazy. You don't look at Johnny.
Well, if they can't beat 8.5 hours, I'm running next year.
The course was open for 7, I think. The marathon course. I think
for 7 hours?
I think so. 5 or 6, 7. That's a long time out there.
I was playing after 2. I was going to shut down.
Did you see anybody?
I did.
Yeah. So
and how many would that be?
8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. Oh, boy, that's almost 7 hours.
Okay, I could probably get that window.
That's right.
But I might need a lift.
And, if people are wanting to take down the signs but you want to give everybody that experience just like the first person.
The women's winner we just talked about, 6.5 minutes per mile.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
I
mean, it is
good for her.
I guess it's a tantamount to a golfer taking a 7-iron and ripping it around the tree with a fade. I mean, it's crazy what they can do if you're at that top level. It's amazing physically what some humans can accomplish. It really, really is. But I think the pace of some of these runners is just, I think you either have it or you don't. I don't know if everybody can learn to do that. You see some people jogging outside and you're going, You see some people jogging outside and say they're really good.
Yeah.
Their form is good. Yeah. Everything looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Or some people that are
They
just
got
running.
that lean
I'm going to
runner
run
look.
and get in shape. Well, you just started because you don't look very comfortable. So not easy. All right, a break. We have another segment to go here for this Monday morning. It is April 28th. Temperature is going to hit near 82 with windy conditions. The news from Fox coming up. ESPN 93.5.
Hark, there be a barge of overseas appliances, overpriced, tariff-laden goods. Unload quick! We don't have any other choice but to pay the high prices.
Sure we do.
Well, if my eyes don't deceive me, it be Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. What speak ye about saving money?
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you don't need to worry about overpriced tariff goods. We are stocked with pre-tariff inventory.
You don't need me overpriced appliances from overseas?
Nope, we're good. We even have Speed Queen in stock made right here in the good old Midwest.
You want none of it?
We have 2 warehouses full of pre-tariff inventory and a service department to repair your existing appliance if you want to save even more money instead of buying new.
Well, I'll be. Can I interest ye in me lobster bisque?
Well, it is 9 a.m.
You got to try me lobster bisque.
Okay, all right, I'll get some to go. Take credit card?
With a 5% service charge and sign here for a minimum 30% tip. Wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The conclave to elect a new pope starts May 7th. Fox's Jonathan Savage at the Vatican.
Over the next week, informal conversations are likely to be held as cardinals encourage each other to vote for their favourite candidates. Pope Francis's legacy will loom large. He appointed 80% of this year's cardinal electors.
135 of them under the age of 80 are eligible to attend. There's a lot of sorting out to do after the detention of 114 people reported to be in the country illegally at an after-hours nightclub in Colorado Springs early yesterday. Attorney General Pam Bondi on Fox.
You would go in, security would give you a menu of drugs. Cocaine, there's something new called pink cocaine, meth, you could go in a bathroom stall, get that, there was prostitution, all these things going on.
Also detained at that club, several soldiers stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, some working security. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois offering a new option for in-state students struggling to get traditional college loans. Illinois' treasurer unveiled a new program that provides private college loans for Illinois residents at lower rates than private competitors. Illinois No Co-Signer Loan is open to Illinois residents attending an Illinois public or non-for-profit university. With the threat of federal dollars going away, several Illinois universities suspended diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, but the University of Illinois remains defiant. The Trump administration's been pushing universities to drop DEI programs, arguing that they violate civil rights laws by limiting eligibility based on race. About 200 people used test dummies to practice chest compressions at Memorial Stadium Friday during the Christie Clinic race weekend. For the proper hands-only CPR technique, you clench your hands together, press down until you hear a click, which signals you've gone down far enough to actually get blood pumping. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Tired of trying to keep up with Old Man Jones and his perfect lawn? Spring Green knows that we can't all spend hours a day creating that perfect shade of green, killing off all that crabgrass, and making sure every insect in the neighborhood doesn't call your lawn home this year. At Spring Green, they take the hassle out of your lawn headache with services such as lawn fertilization, weed control, grub and insect control, lime treatments, and even bush and tree care. Let the experts at Spring Green help you this season. For more information, visit them at spring-green.com. Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central on Champaign and Saturday. Going to be off and running in a summer-like spell of weather for the day-to-day, and try to get it done while you may, where you can, the best you can with outdoor work and field work. Back into a winter mode here going forward for the rest of the week and into next week, too. Mostly sunny up to 84. That south wind increasing 15 to 25, gust to 35 and 40 miles per hour. And with field work underway, heads up on reduced visibilities in some areas as a result of blowing dust that continues into the first part of tonight, with a shower thunderstorm chance after midnight. Low down to 68. South wind 20 to 30. Gust to 40 to 45 miles per hour. Windy, warm, and humid tomorrow. A couple of showers and thunderstorms morning and late afternoon. The high near 80 and dropping as southwest wind shift northwest. A couple of showers, much cooler, 53 for tomorrow night, and more shower activity breaking out for the day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy skies, much cooler at 71. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Thursday with a high up to 74. Dry weather for Friday and Saturday with upper 60s, up to 72 on Sunday, and scattered showers and thunderstorms early next week with another warm up. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, here we go. Final segment of our program, ESPN 93.5. It's great to have you listening. I am Stevie J. Brother Johnny's hanging out. Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Everybody is in the house here, so always happy to take your text.
And actually, we have one from John in Camaro. Please settle this argument for me. You said last week a lot of people say there are only two certainties in life, death and taxes. I believe this is false. There are thousands of people in prison today who refuse to pay their taxes. There is no one on earth who has refused to die and succeeded. Thoughts on the comment?
When you're in prison, you have to pay taxes?
I'm trying to assimilate what the question is.
Well,
certainties life. Death.
Death and taxes.
Right.
Okay.
You know, you've heard that from...
there are people that never paid any taxes.
Right. So that is
but if you're locked up and you're not making income...
No, what he's saying is
not
there are
death.
people who haven't paid taxes.
Right.
So there's not... For them,
okay.
It's not certain. Now, death, I think that is certain.
I think that's pretty certain.
Other than Jesus, I think.
Yeah.
And he actually died. He just came back to life.
Right. So in other words, there are people that skirt. There's an awful lot of people that don't pay anything anytime, I don't think.
Right.
But most of the money is coming from the higher earners. Most of it, about over 50%, comes from the smaller number. There's a whole bunch of people. If you deem poverty, what's poverty now? 35,000?
No, it's actually higher.
Is
I think
really?
it's 40 or 50 because it costs so much. But
Yeah.
speaking of death, it just reminds me of the Pope's funeral and this. Oh, Trump wore the wrong suit. Of course he did. But actually, you have to realize here's the Pope, leader of the biggest church in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he passed away on Easter. He died, but he believed in Jesus, so he rose. So you want the mourning, the tradition, and it's generally black. And yes, we're going to miss him, but there's this cause for celebration. And a lot of funerals, like Christian funerals, it's a celebration because this was a Christian man and he's with Jesus.
Yep.
And so that's something that maybe the judge should probably mention.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, they apparently does the Vatican say what you're supposed to wear? I thought they said it's appropriate to wear black.
Or maybe they're just saying a darker color.
I don't know.
I didn't say it wasn't appropriate. I'm just saying I think there's other perspectives in the Christian faith
I agree.
that no other faith has. I think every other faith, that's sad.
I think
we'll never see him again.
88-year-old Pope should be celebrated. That's a celebration.
He did what he wanted to do on Easter. That's like...
I know, and he started the day making some appearances at Mass.
He was talking to J.D. Vance on Easter. Was it Easter or Saturday? I don't know. Anyway, it was
Saturday.
wee hours of Easter Monday, like 12:25 a.m. Easter Monday.
Right.
So...
there's so many people that have said, oh, this Pope had a liberal lean, quote. And there was a chapter in his life where he gave a blessing to all people, no matter what your sexual orientation.
Well, I think
but he
that's
wasn't
fine.
endorsing gay marriages or anything like that.
I think
he said it was a sin, but not a crime. I think it's something that
I bless all people.
I think Jesus would want to bless all people, but he'd also want them to
Absolutely.
turn from whatever was wrong, right?
All of us
Turn away from sin, but love the sinner.
And we all can't. None of us can do it.
Yeah.
That's why he had to die for our sins. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so, which sin is it? I don't think that really matters. It's just we're not going to make it without Jesus. That's all it is.
Amen.
Okay, Trump turns White House lawn into mugshot wall of 100 illegal aliens ahead of 100th day. So maybe we're not 100 days yet?
Yeah, actually,
February,
it's past the 20th, but it's only 90, but we're real close.
All right.
Coming up this week will be the 100th day.
Yeah, so there are now over, well, I guess there are 100 illegal aliens pictures on for the 100th day commemoration.
Oh, I see.
So, I mean, that's, we're talking arrested, sexual assault of a child, murder. I mean, Johnny, we don't want these people on the street. And think about how many more there are out there because we had an open border.
Well, and another thing I think, going back, as we talk about the media saying we got to tell the truth, we'll talk about we can't do anything about the border. Congress needs to act.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Because guess what?
Yeah.
They didn't act, and it's closed.
You closed in 1 month, 2 months?
It
months?
was probably 1.5 to 2.5 months, basically, for all intents and purposes. It's closed. It's the most secure it's ever been.
Okay, so what are we to do with China, who has $1 billion footprint near the Florida coast? Bahamas, just 50 miles off the coast of South Florida. China we have a big footprint near them too, right? I can't believe we gave up Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan when the Chinese now took it. That's my Air Force Base.
By the way, just text her, John in Camargo. Tomorrow is the 100th day.
Okay, there we go.
We had
All
a
right.
question about that.
And talk about any other president this active with everything he's done in 100 days? I think not.
I haven't studied it, but I can't imagine. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Because most presidents just had like 14 hours a day, and he's got 20.
That's right.
So I don't know what to tell you.
That's right. And again, this is also some of the things he's trying to do. I mean, literally drain the swamp. What he always said, this is kind of that attempt. And then what happened to Doge? They're still working. It isn't catching headlines every day, but I can't imagine talking to a human being that lives near me in this country that would be upset about catching waste, fraud, and abuse.
Well, if you hear that they're cutting Social Security and people who need the money and deserve it are getting cut, then you'll be against it. But
it's not true.
Well, it could be true on clerical errors, but they're trying to, by and large, get the 99% of the fraud that you can. They had 6,000 non-citizens getting Social Security. I'm sure they need the money. They are not entitled to our money for Social Security. It's not the way it works. If they go to Congress, pass a law, say we need to give Social Security to everybody, well, that's the way it is, because if the president signed it, that's our system.
Yeah.
But that's not what's been done. You just don't say that law's not fair. We need to hand the money out to everybody. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah, and that's what's gotten a lot of Chicago very, very upset. African-American community in Chicago, extraordinarily upset, going to the city council meetings with red T-shirts that say "Turn Chicago Red," and they're very upset of what the Hispanics have been able to receive free from the government. When the African-American community, where's mine? Why would you prioritize them? And then with Brandon Johnson, who's a beauty, makes me want to campaign for Lori Lightfoot. Could she run again? Anyway,
sure.
How could you get worse than Lori Lightfoot? And they did it.
They did.
And so Brandon Johnson is this uber liberal. And he's not allowing anybody to touch their criminals in Chicago. I mean, what the world? And of course, J.B. Pritzker's doubled down on the woke.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, because there could be some federal funds withheld, which is going to have an impact on a lot of people that don't deserve to have the impact. So, yeah, it's politics.
Well, then there's a new one I heard. There's a transgender 14-year-old in Long Island, which is kind of Republican, in New York. And this person has transitioned socially. No drugs, no nothing, just socially. And they want to play on the girls' girls' teams. 14,
yeah.
6 foot tall, 14 years old, but not doing any drugs, like trying to get the testosterone down. All that.
Right.
This is just socially. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, wow.
And I feel sorry for the kid. I mean, I'm assuming he has some issues, but to support that is where I got to call out the people. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're going to let him go
it's-
on the girls' team? They could get hurt. It's
not fair.
How about an elbow coming down? Because he's probably taller than most of them. And
6 feet,
if
14?
he's in high school, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And so it's beyond outrageous.
No, it's
Steve.
ridiculous.
And-
It's simply not fair.
And you just can't keep electing people who support that. You can't do that, or else it'll happen.
Okay.
It's not fair.
Yep. Pretty black and white from the standpoint of there's a big difference.
That's the one you go to because that's the extreme. In engineering, you always take the extreme case to see if you're on the right track. Well, that's the extreme case.
Yeah.
They're not on the right track. And if you really believe that, okay, we can talk. Don't run anything else like the border. Because they don't think there's any border. The same logic will conclude no border, no law enforcement, no police.
Yeah.
No, that's not working.
Yeah, right. All right, 844.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Tim Culver, owner and president of Classic Plumbing and Air.
A plumber is a person that is well-rounded. They have education, they have experience, and they are versed in more than only one phase of plumbing. A plumber is someone that has experience in all three phases, and they understand how all three of these plumbing aspects work together as well.
Was in the heating and air conditioning business for approximately 30 years and then retired in 2021. So I came out of retirement because I'm very big on taking care of our local community. The most satisfying part of my job is when I know that I've done the right thing for the customer, taking care of the customer's happy, and when I walk out the door that I'm not afraid to put a sign out in front of their house that says, "This job was done by Chuck Thompson, Classic Plumbing and Air."
Visit them at classicplum.com.
All right, Tim, Gale Ferrix Trucking, looking for drivers at all?
Yeah, we're going to do a little push here. Until we get the trucks full, I'm going to do something a little bit crazy. We're going to go ahead and reinstitute our $4,000 sign-on bonus for the month of April. So I can guarantee the first two guys that come in are going to get that. Now, after that, that will fill up the trucks, and I don't know what we'll have to reevaluate then, but we'll carry that through either till the end of April or till the trucks are filled up.
To the person listening, Tim, what did they do to get this $4,000 signing bonus in case they'd like to act on that?
They can email me at timo@gftlog.com. They can call my office at 765-793-7131. They can drop by Dedicated Diesel in Urbana at 1313 Triumph Drive and see Mandy, and she can get them the paperwork and get them in touch with me.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change your car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Dave Ellers Insurance right there.
Great guy.
Yeah, he is.
Talk about a great
softball,
guy.
Granny Park.
Yeah, back in the day, Dave Ellers.
Normally, Dave was the pitcher on the other team.
Okay.
He was a good athlete and did a lot of sports.
We had so much fun. We played those games every day.
And a
It's
good coach, Steve.
No question.
Great coach.
Absolutely. In Rocket Nation, he's been honored numerous. I feel like he's a Hall of Famer.
Great guy.
He's good. Yep. No.
But and married Michelle Harden. She never could say her name as a youngster, so Mush is what we used to call her.
Don't remember that.
Okay. Well, you're not a Tolono
No,
native.
that's true.
So,
Hey, you remember how many home runs you hit that summer?
No, 44. Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron. Johnny
Hank
hit 44
Aaron, my
home runs
hero.
that
There
summer.
you go.
Hit him over there, and we broke Bob Kane's window once.
Uh-oh.
And
We
Hank
went up to the
Aaron-
door. Went up to the door.
Doesn't Hank
Chuck
Aaron
owned
still
that
own-
house later, but that was the house we
That's
broke.
right.
You
He
hit
still
it
owns-
because you crushed it.
Hank still owns the record, I believe, the real record. for
Real
home
record
runs.
for me, 755.
The
773.
natural hitting guy.
Without steroids, Barry Bonds.
Okay.
All right.
Dave Ellers, Thomas
All right,
and Ellers
Stevie, I'll
Insurance.
talk to you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Johnny. Thank you very much.
Thanks for sharing stories from our hometown
Well,
of
we'll
Philo
see if
here.
anybody remembers any names.
There
Let's
you
check
go.
sports headlines.
Milwaukee over St. Louis 7-1. They've got action against Cincinnati tomorrow at 5:40. Or is that today?
That's today.
Oh, that's today. It's the Cubs in action against Pittsburgh at 5:40 tomorrow. They'll have the day off after 10 innings last night, where Philadelphia beat Chicago 3-1. A's over the Chicago White Sox 3-2 in 10 innings, and they'll wait till tomorrow to start up another series. We also had Illinois golf. UCLA came out by a shot in the Big Ten tournament.
Wow.
I know. I feel like the Illinois golf and Mike Small has won that trophies for so many years.
Well, we added the Pac-10. So
Oh, man.
UCLA's, they don't ever quit playing golf.
Right.
They don't have winter. So, yeah, that's an advantage, and we knew they were good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Rutgers over Illinois in softball yesterday, 4-1. Now they've got EIU Wednesday at 5 at Eichelberger Field. 21-25 on the season, 5-13 in the Big Ten. Illinois was beat by Purdue yesterday, but won the series 2 out of 3, and so they've got a record of 12-9 in the Big Ten for 6th place.
okay. We're going to just make that Big Ten tournament what we want.
That's it.
Then we get in there and win it again.
I haven't mentioned St. Louis and Winnipeg in the quest for the Stanley Cup, tied at 2 after the Blues beat the Jets 5-1.
Finally,
yesterday.
Minneapolis and Minnesota, the Timberwolves have a 3-1 lead over the Lakers.
Yes.
Terrence Shannon played 3 minutes and got 4 rebounds. How did he do that? How did he do that?
Go ahead,
I don't know.
Terrence Shannon Jr.
Here's our weather.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Wind and warm for the day today. A summer-like high with sunshine up to 84, but reduced visibilities in open rural areas as a result of blowing dust with field work ramping up across the area. And the blowing dust and reduced visibility problem continues in through tonight with a low down to about 68 and a shower chance after midnight. That south wind 20 to 30, gust to 40 to 45 miles per hour today and tonight. That southwest wind will shift northwest tomorrow, turning cooler after a warm start. Partly sunny, scattered showers and thunderstorms morning and early afternoon, up near 80 and dropping. 53 tomorrow night with a north wind and a couple of showers around. Much cooler for the day on Wednesday. Variably cloudy, a few showers, a high near 71. Back into more widespread showers, thunderstorms, a couple of batches morning and afternoon. Thursday, partly sunny and 74. Upper 60s and low 70s. Dry weather for Friday and into the weekend. Another warm up early next week. Temperatures up past 80 and scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. We'll keep you posted right here for Stephen J. Broadcasting. I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Preventative care is a key factor in maintaining your overall health. Don't delay your health care. If you haven't already scheduled your annual wellness checkup and any recommended screenings and immunizations, do it today. Christie Clinic primary care physicians have same-day appointments available. Talk to a Christie Clinic physician about important screenings and immunizations. You don't want to delay. Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Race weekend, April 24th through the 26th. IllinoisMarathon.com.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheeseburgers, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your home this spring? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing has got the sale for you. Offering a free water heater with the purchase of a new HVAC system. Or 60 months, 0% interest on financing for a new HVAC system. It's the biggest sale of the year. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Get a free quote for your home today. It's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Yep. My son-in-law Jacob is with AAA Louisville, and Austin Hayes was the guy that was injured and came back. So Jacob was sent to AAA a couple weeks ago. Anyway, otherwise I might be going to Cincinnati.
Yeah,
today.
that's right. To check out that series.
Where to park. I know where to go. I know the back roads. I know the whole thing now.
That's right.
It's right next to where the Cincinnati Bengals play.
Okay.
The Bengals are a block over. Big old stadium where Joe Burrow and his team.
Is it the Great American Park? Or
it's Great American's the baseball.
Okay.
But it's something else field for football.
Gotcha.
But it's within walking distance of each other. Mm-hmm. So it's a big deal for Cincinnati to have NFL and Major League Baseball right there on the river.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool to walk across the bridge, and actually walking across the bridge puts you in Kentucky. So we've stayed in Covington, Kentucky quite a few times.
Nice.
But anyway, it's a great, I've still not done the Ark. I'd like to do the Ark and the Noah's Ark and the Bible and things they have there. The Noah's Ark's supposed to be amazing.
I've never heard of all that.
It's a regular size Ark.
Okay.
All right. That'll do her.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. And we're online on the Twitter at StevieJFM.
All right, thank you, Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Monday. We're talking to John Reichert from A&R Mechanical. 100 years in our community. So many buildings in this town, like Memorial Stadium. Of course, the State Farm Center. Can you remember the reaction from the company getting that? Because that's a big one.
Oh, that was huge. If you just think about it a little bit, everything we put in is straight, pipe is straight. We're putting all that into a round building. And, it took a lot of know-how to make that project happen. It was one of the first projects we did using our new technologies, and the timing was just right. We were the right people for that project, and I think we did it successfully.
The legacy of A&R. John, I could almost say, what haven't you built? Up and down campus, the Siebel Center was fairly new for computer science.
Everybody was working as a team, and I think it came out very well.
A&R Mechanical has helped build Carl at the Fields expansion and other Carl projects in Provena and Sarah Bush Lincoln. The list goes on and on. Visit them at ar-mech.com. Attention all truck drivers looking for a new opportunity with great pay and amazing benefits. Gale Frericks Trucking has got you covered. Join their team, receive a $4,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, $4,000 just for coming on board. Plus, enjoy a $1,200 gross weekly pay guarantee. Drive their state-of-the-art Freightliner Cascadia trucks equipped with a revolutionary system designed to reduce weight and downtime. Get home every weekend and some nights during the week with paid vacations and holidays. They offer company-sponsored health insurance and all the benefits you deserve. Regional drivers get first priority. Don't wait. Apply in person at Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive, Urbana, or call Tim at 765-505-1295. That's 765-505-1295. Start your journey today with Gale Frericks Trucking.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
A pumpkin coach, a glass slipper, and a fairy godmother. It's Champaign-Urbana Ballet's Cinderella, May 2nd and 3rd. The timeless story set magically on stage at the Virginia Theater, downtown Champaign. Sponsored by Area Wide Technologies, the Bill Bass Foundation, Champaign Ballet Academy, Stone Ridge Dairy, and Two Men and a Truck. For tickets to CU Ballet's Cinderella, May 2nd and 3rd, call the Virginia Theater box office or visit thevirginia.org.
Hark, there be a barge of overseas appliances, overpriced tariff-laden goods. Unload quick! We don't have any other choice but to pay the high prices.
Sure we do.
Well, if my eyes don't deceive me, it be Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. What speak ye about saving money?
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you don't need to worry about overpriced tariff goods. We are stocked with pre-tariff inventory.
You don't need me overpriced appliances from overseas?
Nope, we're good. We even have Speed Queen in stock made right here in the good old Midwest.
You want none of it?
We have 2 warehouses full of pre-tariff inventory and a service department to repair your existing appliance if you want to save even more money instead of buying new.
Well, I'll be. Can I interest ye in me lobster bisque?
Well, it is 9 a.m.
You got to try me lobster bisque.
Okay, all right, I'll get some to go. Take credit card?
With a 5% service charge and sign here for a minimum 30% tip. Wow!